Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Metroid 2 The Return of Samus. Indeed, more, in this case, probably means end of the game. And, I hate to admit it, but I'm probably going to go ahead and cheese out the final boss with Turbo. Ow. Probably because... let's just be clear, there are two ways to beat the final boss. One of them is to pump 150 missiles directly in the boss's mouth. In the open mouth. So if you don't think you can stand the thought of me using a turbo to just kind of wipe through the boss like that, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to be using Turbo. Something that you wouldn't have had on a Game Boy way back when. Since the Game Boy had built-in controls and did not have a turbo function on it. But yeah, we are going to be turboing the boss down. Because 150 missiles is, kind of a lot. There is a secondary method to beating the boss. And it involves letting the boss swallow you, planting bombs inside, and then getting spit back out and repeating the process a bunch of times. Which is, I guess it's fine if you want to do that, but let's go ahead and finish out this game. I'm already at the 5 hour or so odd mark on it. I'm way past the point where, Fine, we will do it. Yeah. So anyway, yes, we are going to be facing the final Metroid. But to do that, we have to get through this fairly long, little, very empty, very barren, very, very barren area that has literally nothing in it to actually look at, except for one final save point. And this stuff right here will not let you jump normally. So you're kind of expected to try to jump like this. And eventually you'll break out. Come on, thank you. And then you're kind of expected to try to space jump all the way up to the top of this place, because the top is where, well, a few things happen. One, we have a full missile and full health recharge right here. And just because I don't want to try to have to make this space jump the way it, try to jump down and around and all that. Come on. Easier just to spider ball through the little area there. We need to come back here. And we need to grab ourselves the last power-up in the game, which is a power-up we've already seen. Twice if you walked into one particular room that I didn't walk into. The ice beam. I want to be on this side. But trying to get back down here via space jump means you're probably falling all the way back down to the floor. Let's be honest. But now we get the creepy music. And little passes that we have to turn into a ball. We get even creepier music, and suddenly the Metroid counter jumps up to 9 there. And now we kind of need to be careful because, well, we no longer have just one Metroid to deal with. Now we've got 9 of them. Luckily for us, all of these are the original Metroids. Well, all but one is the original Metroid. I'm pretty sure there's not another one until I get to this door. But the additional 8 are all these original freeze and then missile down Metroids. We do have to be careful, though, because we're jumping up through here. There's another one. They also don't stay frozen for very long. At least I think these stay frozen for a little shorter time than they did originally. Oh, come on. Now, how did you do that? How... Good grief. The game... I've always felt it felt a little glitchy dealing with these Metroids. They can latch onto you very, very easily compared to their brethren in the original game. Which, I mean, ordinarily I wouldn't have a huge problem with, but it's just getting away from them. If they do latch onto you the first time. I'm gonna need you to come down some, aren't I? Oh, come on! Good grief. Thankfully, there are only 2 of those left. This is definitely one of the more frustrating iterations of the base Metroid that I remember. Luckily, I can just do that. Let's try this again. Okay, and the last one should be down here somewhere. There you are. As long as we made it to this point. Because we are not stuck up here. Also, this is why I have no qualms about opening up the turbo here. And we can get out of here for right now. We can make it all the way back down here. With no enemies to stop us whatsoever. I don't really need the missile refill, but I do need the health refill. That was a particularly poor performance, I am fully aware. But in the end, it's not going to matter. Because now we just have to go back through that area again. And we will do so. But yeah, I'm already in the 5+ hour range. Fairly easily in the 5+ hour range. I'm not getting a good ending. I am well aware of the fact that I'm not getting the good ending. Even though I did get 100% items, I think. Or at least as close to 100% items as I needed to. Now, we just need you to actually charge at us with an open mouth. Like so. And you have seen all of the attacks. You've seen all of the attacks that the Queen Metroid there uses. The lunge at you with a closed jaw, lunge at you with an open jaw, and then spit little red blobs at you. Well, they would be red if this were a Game Boy Color. And now, for some reason, Samus decides, hey, we don't need to kill this one. I don't know why, but we do need it to actually get out of here, because otherwise I'm pretty sure we couldn't do anything about any of these little crystal barriers here. Metroid eats them, apparently. I don't know. and makes adorable little squeaking sounds as it does. But now we can get out of here. Come on. There we go. And now we are back on the surface. Almost stuck that landing. Oh, that was close. I almost stuck that landing. But yes, the last Metroid is now in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. And nothing bad ever happened involving Metroids again. I mean, we just took out the Queen, after all. But yeah, this... okay. It's fun. If you played old games and like the way old games play, it hits nostalgia, and I think the nostalgia is kind of necessary for this game to be considered fun. There's a reason they remade this game later on, and then the AM2R came about for as long as it was allowed to exist until Nintendo killed it. There's a reason people remade this game with a few quality of life adjustments. First things first, the sprites. Because it's a Game Boy game, the sprites had a tendency to be just way too big for the screen. And they kinda needed to be, sadly. And the jumps, definitely a bit on the floatier side. Definitely a bit on the floatier side. Even for Metroid standards. Yeah, 524. It's nowhere near the best time I've ever had on this. But I also spend a lot of time talking and a lot of time setting up in between videos and all that. So there's probably at least 30-45 minutes just in the time between recordings that would normally be cut out of a run like this. Other than that, I did screw up a lot. No deaths, surprisingly enough, considering the death I had in Metroid 1. But yeah, this game, if you have nostalgia for Metroid, the early Metroids, you know, Super Metroid and before that, if you have nostalgia, this game is probably going to be one you enjoy a whole lot. But boy, does it have problems that the remakes did a pretty decent job covering up. Excuse me. Did a pretty decent job, basically taking all the spackle and all the wallpaper in to give it a new coat of paint and all that. Yeah, sure. But there were definitely some quality of life adjustments that were made. And they were greatly appreciated. Very greatly appreciated when they came around. Even if AM2R got axed officially by Nintendo. But Nintendo's own remastering of this game actually does pretty well too. So yeah, if you're going to play this game, you can seek out this version of it. This version of it is, well, outside of being a little bit floaty and giving the Metroids at the end way too easy of an ability to just glom onto you. I think one of them actually reached me through the corner of a wall at least twice. But yeah, as long as you can, if you're ready to deal with that, I can't stop yawning. This is good. This is fine. But if you're good with that, try seeking out this version and playing it. But I really do recommend, if you want to play this particular adventure, go look up the AM2R. I'm pretty sure you can still find it, no matter how hard Nintendo tried to quash it. Or try to get a hold of the official remake Nintendo did. Off the top of my head, I want to say it's Zero Mission. That's off the top of my head. I'm very fuzzy when it comes to the Nintendo Game Boy, DS, 3DS, etc., etc. GBA, GBC, GB, all those. I'm very fuzzy when it comes to their game titles. But yeah, Nintendo did a proper remaster of this game and released it for new systems. Well, new handhelds, anyway. And I believe that was Zero Mission. I could easily be wrong. Do research. I do research right now, but it's not easy to do while I'm recording. Hopefully I will remember to do it and put a little postscript or something on this video. God, good God. That's time. That's a signal. It's time for me to call it. But anyway, yeah. This has been Metroid 2. I don't know what's coming next. I rarely do. But I may stick with the Game Boy and see if I can pull up something I've been thinking about Let's Playing for a very long time now. So anyway, until next time, take care everyone.